Hi, welcome to our channel. My name is Michael, and this is my wife, April.
Welcome.
Welcome to Retirement Unmasked. And today, we are going to unmask something that I guarantee all of us struggle with. And it has to do with money, real money, and has to do with tipping. The
Yikes.
Big tipping dilemma.
So, remember this from our Colorado trip. We're at the Denver airport, just trying to grab a quick drink of water after our flight and before our daughter is going to pick us up. I walk up to one of those little grab and go kiosks, you know, the ones where you scan and pay yourself. And I pick up a bottle of water. I walk over to the counter, which has the credit card reader. And I scan the water with a little scanner gun. I insert my card to pay for the bottle of water. You know, the ones that are like 25 cents at both Sam's Club, but they're $4 at the airport.
Inflation is real.
I expect that, you know.
But
the screen defaults to an 18% tip. And I'm about to click it when I notice, and then I have to find the custom tip screen and put a 0 in. Glad I noticed at the last minute. Well, I'm thinking, wait, who exactly am I tipping here?
Right.
The refrigerator? The person who restocked the shelf? Myself? Am I tipping myself? What is going on?
Right.
Even if there was a clerk, you know, they're doing their job. They're getting their hourly rate, and I got the bottle out of the refrigerator. So anyway, when you go to like a 7-Eleven and you get your pizza or your chips or your soda.
You should never get pizza or a hot dog at a 7-Eleven. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt
Slurpee.
you.
Okay.
Okay, a Slurpee.
You Slurpee.
Yep.
So you go up to the counter and you bring them everything and they scan it and they tell you what the total is. And you just put your money in and, you know, go on your way. They don't ask for a tip.
They don't ask for a tip.
That'd be weird.
I don't think they expect a tip.
No. But, I mean, I feel like people think we have a money tree in our backyard.
I think some people think we have one in the backyard and in the front yard. Some of those people might also be known as children.
They might have our last name.
Yeah. However, it's like everywhere we go now, whether it's a coffee shop, an airport, because we fly a lot, but mostly self-checkouts kind of get me now. Everybody's asking for a tip.
I think it's rude.
So I get it when someone provides a real service, like when we go out for, you know, a meal and somebody, a waiter or waitress, is just hitting it, you know, on the job and doing a great job and refilling waters and asking you if you need this or you need that. It's, you know, then that's certainly tip and tip well.
For a service.
But when you're doing everything for yourself, it starts to feel a little ridiculous. And it really feels to me like this all started around COVID, because I don't remember this like pre-COVID. I just remember it was kind of a normal thing and it didn't really bother me. Tipping, we never talked about tipping before, but we talk about it like on the weekly, you and I do. And I understand the COVID portion of it because people were really trying to help workers who were essential workers just to stay afloat.
In our favorite restaurants.
Yeah, your favorite restaurants, and some of our owned by some of our very dear friends. So we tipped really big then. But what it's done for us, and probably many of you, is it's just turned into tipping fatigue. Now I know I'm 59, and I know I'm a Gen Xer. So
He's almost a boomer.
Yeah, so I'm getting up in age a little bit, but for me, like, we didn't grow up like this. And for me, the big thing that I struggle with is really when I think back to the knowledge that's been imparted in me. And one of the things is that book that you got me when we were in our 30s, when we were first married, called The Millionaire Next Door. And that's an excellent book if you haven't read it, by the way. But the couple of things I took from that book are really to just live within or below your means, but to be a conscientious consumer, like really think about your purchases. And that doesn't mean to be cheap, but it just means to be responsible. And so I want to talk about something I know we all struggle with. And that is when you order pizza, you order carry-out pizza.
Pizza.
And you drive there to pick up the pizza. And pizza now is crazy expensive anyway.
It is.
And you're paying for it, and they flip the screen around and they ask you for a tip. And it's like, hold on, player.
And there's people standing behind you looking at you over your shoulder.
Yeah. And the whole crew that made the pizza, they're all staring at you.
Feels like it.
Like you used your own gas to get there. You took your own time to get there. They didn't bring it to your door. Like if you order it and Domino's delivers it, that's a totally different story.
I would expect to give a tip then.
But then there's times, April, I struggle with when we order food on the app. Like we ordered some food. I flew in the other night. We decided we're going to pick up some food at Olive Garden. So we order it on the app and it asks us for a tip in the app. And you think, gosh, if I don't tip in this situation, are they going to make my food right?
That was an automatic 15% that came up on the app. And so I looked at the total and I put down $2. But it was kind of a small order.
Yeah. But you think, are they going to make my food right?
Yeah.
Are they going to make me a smaller portion? Like, what's the deal if I don't tip on the
Had
app?
any surprises in there?
So they kind of got you. And, you know, like places like Chick-fil-A, high volume places, good management, I don't worry about them so much because the app is being read by a computer. It's not probably being read by a person. Obviously, somebody's going to process your order.
Mm-hmm.
But at some of these places, I feel like the one person who gets the order is the same person making your food. And if you don't tip them, it might not be made the way that you want it to be made.
Questionable.
It's questionable. Yeah.
Highly sus.
Yes,
as the kids say.
So I'm just curious, what do you all do when you go to pick pizza up? Do you leave a tip? Do you leave a couple bucks in a tip jar? Do you feel pressure? Do you tip 20% just because that's who you are? I'm genuinely curious because maybe I'm 100% wrong on this one, and I really just need our viewers to tell me gently why I'm wrong or why I'm cheap.
But the guilt is real. You can feel those eyes, like even if no one's actually watching you.
Yeah.
So do you tap no tip and risk feeling like a terrible human?
Right.
Or do you tip out of guilt or some sense of obligation? Is this keeping up with the Joneses type of thing? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm all for rewarding great service, but in that Denver airport case,
Yeah.
I mean, no one handed me the water. No one filled it up. No one was even there but me.
Yeah.
Just beep, and there's an 18% tip option waiting for me? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's rude.
That is, because you've worked jobs where tips mattered.
Right. I was one of the best waitresses ever and being harassed by truck drivers at Bob's Big Boy at 16 years old. But this was not that. I had to wear that silly brown polyester uniform and running around making these hot fudge sundaes, which takes a lot of work, a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Cleaning up after the little children that threw their food on the floor. It was carpeted. Isn't that weird? It was carpeted. We had to vacuum up food. And it was gross. And sometimes, like, babies spilled stuff on me. And since I didn't have kids yet, I really wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I worked hard for that tip.
You did.
I really did.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you did. So you talk about Bob's Big Boy. I was quite the fry guy at Burger King, and I had the paper hat and the brown polyester uniform as well. Burger King,
The king.
circa mid-1980s.
The king of French fries.
Yeah. So back on topic. we got off topic there. It's really called tipflation, and companies love it because it shifts their labor costs to customers. And when that screen turns around, a lot of us, including us, we feel some sort of social pressure to add something, even if there's no service being provided.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, we have family that works in the service industry, immediate family members.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell us their tipping stories, so we take those into consideration. But when April ran her pressure washing business, and she ran it for numerous years, I remember, unless you were hiding the tips from me,
No.
I'm going to say less than 5 times do I remember somebody coming out and
It was
giving
rare.
you a tip. because it just wasn't expected. And that was hard work. And often you provided extra services that weren't included in the estimate or the scope of the work that was to be performed.
And sometimes it was 99 degrees out, and we
It was
had to
hot.
take breaks and stay hydrated, and I about passed out from the heat. I mean, that was hard work.
So circling back to retirement, I just think about retirees or folks who are on fixed incomes like Social Securities, and going back to the millionaire next door, about how those few extra dollars here and there can add up really fast.
True.
What used to be a $5 cup of coffee can turn into $6 or $6.50 just because of guilt tripping our way through life. And people fall into it. And sometimes I fall into it. I feel like a cheapskate if I don't tip.
Well, we aren't saying don't tip. We're saying tip, in our opinion, our humble opinion, tip for service. So like when someone makes you feel seen, appreciated, goes out of their way for you, keeps your drink filled, absolutely, be generous. But when you're just grabbing a bottle of water at the Denver airport, it's okay to say no.
I think it's quite all right to say no to that machine. I'm not tipping that machine. So we talk a lot about intentional living in retirement. That includes how we're going to spend our money. To me, it's not about being stingy. It's about being smart and being aware.
So let's hear from you. What's the craziest or most awkward place you've been asked to tip? Drop it in the comments for us.
And if you're new here, thanks for watching. We just really felt compelled to throw this together kind of last minute and talk about tipping, but we want to hear your opinion on it, and we want to talk about topics that actually matter in this stage of life.
Oh, one more thing. Tell us if you grew up or know about the 1 penny tip. What's the meaning behind that? Because I ran into a young man who was having a quick conversation about his tipping, and he had a rough day. During the day, someone at different tables had left him different tips. 5 tables left him 1 penny tips. Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
There's a reason.
And he didn't understand it.
He didn't get it. I didn't want to burst his bubble.
You didn't burst his bubble. You didn't have the heart to tell him that.
You must be terrible, bro.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
Because if you do a great job, I know, some of our siblings give like 30% if it's a great job and we feel appreciated and not an inconvenience. So I kind of lean more in that way.
Right on, right on.
So here's to a week filled with new adventures, cherished memories, and balanced joy.